And welcome back to another episode of Underdog Podcast. Cue the background noise. What the fuck? This is stupid. So I remember I was going to update y'all on my spiritual journey. I forgot to do it the last episode. Or did I? I don't remember. Fuck it. But I'm going to tell you anyways. So yeah, I'm okay. Like my friends will ask me, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm okay. And okay is not a bad thing. It's just more of I'm trying to find balance where I'm not so good and I'm not so bad. I'm just right in the middle. I just want to stay okay. Like I know I have medical conditions or issues stuff, so which side effects are depression and stuff, chemical imbalances, things that you know might kind of out of your control, but not really out of your control because it's still your body. So you still try to find a balance. So hey, some days, it's a struggle. Some days it's a little bit better. I'm okay today. I was okay yesterday. Last week I fell down. So, and there's moments too where I feel good, but my little break, and I'm still kind of on my little break from social media and stuff. Not really talking as much to people, but in that time, this past month or so, I really got to the core of myself and asked myself a lot of questions. And I remember, or if you remember my previous podcast, being on rants and stuff about pedophiles in Hollywood and things like that. I try to have a little bit more understanding. Not, and just because you can understand where someone's coming from doesn't mean like you don't condemn their actions. It's just that hey, I'm trying to see their perspective. I don't agree with the shit now. Don't get it twisted. I don't agree with it, but it's just part of trying to understand and trying not to pass judgment. Because who are we to judge? Who is anybody to judge? God exists. Does God judge? I mean, why would God judge? How could God judge the thing that God allowed to happen? Shit like that is the questions I ask. Shit like that. And the answer to that is whatever. Doesn't matter. It's all in your mind anyways. And I remember saying that, oh man, I don't think we'll ever find the truth and stuff. But after digging and doing some research and things of that nature, come to find out, oh, there are truths about the universe and things or whatever that's been known. The human history is so fucked up. Like the recorded history, the written recorded history, talking about it goes back about 5,000 years, probably about like 2,500 BC, something like that. Man, that shit is fucking lying. That shit goes further back, and there's tons of information on the internet. I remember, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but like just looking up Masonic stuff or trying to learn more things about Freemasons, and I was like, man, how can you find stuff out about them? And then so I searched it. Didn't use Google. Don't use Google no more. I use DuckDuckGo. But I went ahead and searched it, and then I found a YouTube video, and there's this dude who's a Freemason, and he's a master Mason, and he's like, hey, you can have the Freemasonry isn't a secret society and stuff, whatever. We write our books and stuff like that. I'm like, what? And I'm reading the comments, and people are like, yeah, this book, that book. Ironically, the guy was talking about the book, but then and how nobody wants to be a Freemason because it seems to be all secrecy and nobody wants to join something that they don't know. But then, as the guy was kind of pointing out the irony of it and trying to get more Freemasons to be open to, give them details, or not necessarily details, but information so people can join up. He showed the book, and then he said, "I'm not gonna tell y'all what the book is. Y'all go and do your own research." It's like, bro, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do my research. I went to the comments. I swear, man, I don't know what it is, but when you look in the comments, there's always someone like this fucking expert. There's always somebody that knows a shitload about wherever the fuck the topic of the video is. Like there's always that one person. And people will be like, oh, well, you're not expert. You're not. Hey, this person was motivated to read and find a whole bunch of information. Because if it wasn't before the internet, guess what there was? Fucking library. Books are technology. Books is a form of technology that people are afraid of too. So go out there and fucking learn. So I seen the book and stuff, and I was like, well, let me look this book up. Looked the book up, found it. Shit was on Amazon, of course, because why would it not be on Amazon? And the book is published by Masonic Supply company. It's been around, I think, since like the 1800s. The book is called The Craft and Its Arts or something like that. I forget. Actually, you know, it's right here. Let me pick it up. I've been I've been reading some of it, and it's I'm a slow reader. It takes me time to one to focus and I guess really be motivated, but also to kind of process information because sometimes you read some things and it's like, wow, that's a lot. So the book is called The Craft and Its Symbols. The craft is obviously it's talking about Freemasons, and man, just the first few pages is like it's some things I knew, but still like even showing a picture of George Washington. People think that George Washington is not a Freemason, or if he was a Freemason, he might have just went to a meeting, but he wasn't active. And but there's pictures in this book. Now I'm like, I don't think I've seen these pictures before. Not to this detail or the exact details that are in this picture. And so I went and looked up on the internet and then looked at different images and stuff, and no, pictures was close to it, but not to the exact detail that's in this book. And this book is, has an ISBN number, and does N stand for number? Does it say that twice? Whatever, anyways. But it also has it's in the Library of Congress. 'Cause I was like, this book is in the Library of Congress. I was saying, when it comes to these new information stuff, I'm always skeptical and critical of everything I learn, which is good because it makes you dig deeper. So I was like, it's not in the Library of Congress. So I went to the Library of Congress website, searched the book up, and there it is. Also, there's a whole bunch of other Freemason books. So now I'm going to take the time over the next few months or whatever to really, well, learn Freemasonry because why not? It's in the book. I think one of the first things it says in the book is that Freemason people have a misconception basically that it's a secret society, and the only thing secret about the Freemasonry is the rituals and things that just the rituals, or whatever. Like, bruh, I don't need to know y'all rituals. I don't want to know why y'all dress, what colors exactly y'all dress up in, even though they don't have an exact color. Hell, you even take the compass with the square and the compass and then the G in the middle. Apparently, the G just somebody put it there. It just says an unknown inventor put the G there. The G doesn't really stand for anything, and the G is only seen in American Masonic lodges. Shit is wild. Shit is interesting as fuck too, man. So, but yeah, I've just been trying to learn more about the universe, ancient knowledge, really the stuff that all of us as humans should be going about. 'Cause I'm pretty sure by now we all kind of know that everything just kind of seems like it just doesn't make sense at all. Nothing seems to make sense. We're at the time of year now where, fuck, it's football season. I love football season. Like I said before, I'm a Buck season pass member, and of course, there's no fucking games where your fans can be there, depending on what state you're at and stuff. Which also should let people know that when it comes down to anything, emergency stuff, it's all about your local legislation. Vote there. Vote your city council. Vote your mayors and stuff. Pay attention to what these motherfuckers doing. Some people are shady. If you ain't paying attention, everybody lies. Everybody lies, bro. Everybody lies. Everybody lies. To whatever degree, I don't know, but that depends on them. But motherfuckers just lie. Like, just without question. It doesn't even matter. Because, self-interest is about when you lie. So, when I was a kid, I would lie about not doing my homework. Why? Because I didn't want to do my homework. I got okay grades, but I wasn't trying to get the best grades because I hate doing homework. Because I don't understand why I need to be doing homework when I was just at the fucking school for about 6 hours. If you can't give me the work I need to get done there, then hey, that sounds like an efficiency problem, not on my part, but on the school, the system, the teachers. But that's for the debate, and I could be wrong on those things. Like I said, I'm probably wrong about a lot of stuff, which I'm okay with if I'm wrong, because it doesn't matter, right, wrong, whatever. Just trying to find out shit. That's all. Well, I was saying it's football season, so I'm excited, right? It's cool. I love football. I love sports. I've really fucking missed sports. And like I can't play sports the way I used to, but I still try to be active as possible. And then I get out there with my kids and stuff. And whatnot. So, but I love sports, and then basketball just hasn't been doing it for me because it's weird or it's odd to watch, motherfuckers play. Ain't nobody there, and not the fact there ain't nobody there. I'd rather be empty than the whole fake fans on the screens and stuff. Like, just a little odd, and it's because it's energy. And I really never, I really, not never, I really, can't think of the right word. I guess undervalued, like the energy that even as you watch a sporting event on TV, just the energy of it. Like the energy of watching people play and stuff, and you want to feel the energy through the television of through your TV screen or your whatever your electronic device you're watching on. You want to feel the energy of the crowd, not just the players, but of the crowd. And it's odd to see players, yell and scream and celebrate, but it's like, bro, there's ain't nobody there, man. Like, but obviously, I get from where they're coming from because they have to stay hyped in that mindset because they'll lose focus, and that's part of them being professionals too. But then, like, with football and everything, now you got all the leagues being super woke and stuff, and I feel like people just had enough. Well, clearly by the drop in the ratings, people just had enough. And it's not that people are racist or none of that stuff. It's just that you can tell when a motherfucker is not really being sincere or genuine. Like it all sounds good and nice to say, hey, let's end this, let's end racism and all that stuff, and let's stop violence and or no, let's stop police brutality or Black Lives Matter and stuff. This all sounds nice, but that's what it is. It sounds nice. Are you a good person because you sound like you're a good person, or are you actually putting forth action towards these words and more than just you marching or donating money? Like, what are you doing? Really, the most you can do is just change and be aware of your own behavior. And that's it. You don't necessarily have to like. I can say I'm into racism. I am into racism. Married a white woman. Bam. Ending racism, motherfuckers. I did my part. What the fuck did you do? Hey, I try to treat everybody like, they're a regular being. Like, hey, if I don't like you, it's because I don't like you. I don't care if you're fat, white, black, orange, gay, Muslim, whatever. I don't like you. I don't like the shit that you do. And it's funny because if someone does something to me, or if I'm in a store and someone looks at me, I always been like this since I was a kid. Yeah, because my mindset is I always take things personally. Because someone looks at me and they think I look suspicious or wherever I'm in the store, all I think about is they think I am suspicious. Me, Damian Jackson. Like, I don't think of anything beyond that. Well, not beyond that. I do. I might think, oh, well, because of black and all that stuff. Then I start floating out reasons why. But the first thought I have in my head is, hey, they're looking at me. There's something wrong with me. I say outside my own consciousness, that's the only thing that exists. Like everything is mental, law of attraction, Your mind, your perception, your consciousness creates reality. So it's interesting how we all about group identity and stuff. And I remember reading something and it says like the smallest minority that will ever exist is the individual. And it's like, yeah, yes, like a really truthful statement. Like you, the individual, is minority because in the day, it's not. There's nobody else like you. There are other people similar to you, but not necessarily distinctly like you, because you can have an infinite number of possibilities and variations. Because what are you? What do you consist of? What about you that makes you that no one else can duplicate? How do you quantify that? How do you list the different things? It goes back to when I was a kid, and I said before, like, I never, like, I got made fun of for being white because I talked like this. And that always bothered me when I was a kid because I was like, wait a minute, isn't this kind of hypocrisy? Like, how we as black people get mad if someone says, oh, you get judged because of the color of your skin. Look at me, or if I got my hat back a certain way, or I got earrings on, or whatever, because I'm black and because I'm black. So you know, I'm being told and hear things on TV like, oh, they always judging us because of our color, our skin and stuff. Judge me as an individual, right? And then you turn around and don't necessarily want to be judged as an individual. You want to be involved in a group. So can you have it both ways? Do you want it both ways? Like, whatever. But as I see all the wokeness, I kept seeing, like, I was watching football. I was watching the Buck stuff Sunday. I'm watching football, whatever. The 1 o'clock games, I really just had it on in the background because I was on the phone. But I watched the Bucks game, and then I watched Sunday Night Football, which my friends were over. We were just talking anyway, so it was still just kind of on. But just watching, like, seeing Alicia Keys sing a song, I was like, man, what the fuck is this song? And then I was thinking, like, wait a minute, is this supposed to be the Black national anthem? And then I kept thinking, like, bro, they really just, the fuck is it, a Black national anthem? Like, we really just out here just saying shit, man. And I had a conversation with one of my best friends about LeBron James. Like, you can have it whatever opinion you want to have, but I also have the right to have my own opinion and just be like, hey, what are you talking about, man? Like, I hear LeBron James say, like, oh, black people, we're afraid for our lives. I'm like, who you? Like, black people like you, LeBron? Like, you and your friends and stuff? Like, it's hard to, like, I get, even if they have the best intentions, but it's hard to not accept, but, like, listen to what they say because, like I say, LeBron James talking about black people, we're out here afraid for our lives. I'm sitting there thinking, motherfucker, you, I don't feel like you're afraid for your lives at all. I don't feel like you worried about your son getting pulled over because, I mean, motherfuckers know who your son is. Like, anybody that's in the basketball world, NBA, know LeBron James. You probably know what his son looks like. His sons and his daughter. like, you probably know. Brian probably has like 40, I think he has like 40 plus million people on his social media platforms. Like, hey, these people know who you are and who your son is and who your children are. I don't know if they're going to go through the same things that someone like me might go through. Hell, I don't even go through the same things that he's even talking about. Somebody else might be going through. Some other black person there. So how do you have a group of, you know, 30, 40 million black people and stuff and put them all into a group? Isn't that kind of, isn't that deflating? Like, you want to be judged by the character of who you are, not by your color of your skin, yet you put yourself into a group. And once you put yourself into a group, you identify with how that group is labeled. It's contradictory, right? It just doesn't add up. But it sounds good. So as long as it sounds good, then it's okay. LeBron James supports Colin Kaepernick. So guess what? LeBron James and Colin Kaepernick are both signed to huge Nike contract deals. Hell, LeBron has a lifetime deal with Nike. A lifetime deal? What the fuck does that even mean? Like, literally a lifetime? Like, how much does that equate? And it's crazy because you see the Black Lives Matter shirts that the NBA players are wearing, but if you look closely on the arm sleeve, guess what you see? That Nike swoosh. Power to the people. Let's go with the movement. This shit is, I'm not saying I'm just calling it out, man. Just call shit for what it is, man. After realizing really how deeply brainwashed I am, and really, really waking up, even when I thought I was waking up, it's a long process to wake up to all this stuff. Because at the end of the day, everything is thrown in front of us to separate us, to control us, but really, and ultimately, the main goal is to make money off of us. And make money off of us, man. Black Lives Matter, Nike and stuff. You want to go buy a Black Lives Matter shirt, you can't figure out. You go buy on the website, or you're in a Nike store or stuff, and they got the Black Lives End Racism shirt, or you see it because, hey, this is what the basketball players are wearing. Subliminal. That's why they always put celebrities in the most weirdest products I was seeing yesterday like Patrick Mahomes trying to sell State Farm insurance. I think it's Patrick Mahomes, Chris Paul, and Aaron Rodgers. And all I can think of is, what the fuck? These motherfuckers they don't have State Farm insurance. Like, hell, do they even need insurance? They got something else. Like there seems to be, there really is a separate reality for people X amount of money. Hell, there's a separate reality for us in America and in the first world country. Even we're in the middle class or poverty level, we're still like on a different level than other people, in other parts of the world. Can we actually relate to them and stuff? Like, you see the infomercial of kids, looking like a star. No, you can tell they're skinny, they're starving, they need food and stuff. And you're like, oh man, I feel bad. Let me donate my money. Yeah, man, but where's your money going? You can donate money. My thing is, when I donate money, like, I want to know exactly where it's going, and it's not just being suspicious, but it's being accountable for your own actions. Hey, I want to help out, but I want to make sure I know exactly that how to help out, have a direct impact, or even if it's an indirect impact, I need to know exactly. Just being accountable for your own actions. That's all it is. So, and everything doesn't have to feel like, it's suspicious, or you're being a conspiracy theorist, or any of that. All those conspiracy theories is a stupid term. It's just people got questions. That's it. People are just curious because we know people lie to us. I was having a conversation with one of my friends. Man, it seems like I got a lot of fucking friends, right? I be thinking about that shit sometimes. But anyway, I had a conversation with one of my friends, one of my close friends and stuff, and it was talking about it seems during this COVID-19 thing, it seems like people were starting to have a distrust of the government. I was like, man, the distrust of the government go back to like JFK. Hell, really, it goes back to 1913, with the Federal Reserve, the creation of the Federal Reserve and stuff. 1933, when they said you can't have any gold anymore. 1970, when they took us off the gold standard. Like, the distrust for American government and governments in general will always be there because look at history. You can't trust none of this shit. You can't trust this shit at all, man. Like this, like hell, you ain't gotta look at history. Look at your own family. How many, what's the secrets you got going on in your family that nobody talks about and shit, right? What are you doing? What are you doing on your phone? You talking to the person you ain't supposed to be talking to? Like, it's what it is, man. It's just how it is, bro. Yeah, shit is wild, man. But yeah, just watching the sports and stuff and the NBA and whatnot, I'm looking, I'm just like, man, I just don't want to. It's like, man, it's not that I just want to watch sports, but they can say what they want to say, but it's like, it's over the top. It's like, once you're trying to drill something in my head constantly, this is from just me going through basic training and stuff. Like, once you're trying to drill something in my head constantly, you're trying to shape the way I think. And it's deliberate. It's funny because I think Colin Kaepernick tweeted saying and calling out the NFL for hypocrisy, saying that, oh, they're spewing propaganda. And like, bro, ain't you spewing propaganda too? Like, you're doing the same thing. You're saying stuff, and then we see that you donate money, but you sign a deal with Nike, and we know what Nike does. We know that they're underpaying people and stuff. Trust me, I feel I'm a hypocrite when I buy their products. I can't say I'm a hypocrite because, hey, it is what it is, man. Like, do I want these nice shoes? Yeah. Do these people that are making these nice shoes getting paid a lot of money? Fuck no. Am I okay with it? Not really. But I'm going to buy these shoes every now and then? Yeah. Because, well, I want nice shoes on my feet. And even if I buy Reebok or Puma or some other brand, I really don't know. Hell, you can try to look at their practices and stuff, and that shit is hard to find. But if you dig long enough, you'll find some suspicious shit goes on, man. I'm learning this even about fucking video game industry. I know I mentioned it before, but damn, everybody's shady, bro. Everybody's shady, but when it comes down to it, everybody's, people are trying to make their money and survive and care about themselves. So, do I blame anybody for it? Nah. And those people that are getting underpaid and stuff, they're getting underpaid in comparison to what they would pay in America, and that's why most of your country, your company and stuff. And why Trump is like trying to bring stuff back into America. When he says "Make America Great Again," he's talking about economy. He's a businessman. He don't care about nothing else. And I don't have no faith in him either. I don't have no faith in none of these people. You know, I just take them. I just pay attention to their actions, the things that they do and stuff. You know, I hear what they say, but I pay more attention to their actions, and because a person's actions are telling of who they are. When I see the football players come out, some of them are standing, some of them are kneeling, some of them all that stuff, and you know the national anthem and black national anthem, all I see is a spectacle. That's unnecessary. Because not so long ago, the players were not on the field at all during the national anthem. Hell, I don't even remember the national anthem even being televised unless it was like a playoff game or a Super Bowl, and and that's when you have a singer and stuff. To me, it's just more part of the spectacle. And I'm not a nationalist, but it makes sense for us to be tribal mentality that we will care more about our country. When you go outside the country, guess what you are? They don't care about you black or white or anything. You're an American. They look at you, you walk, you talk, you're an American. Like, hey, oh, you're American, huh? American. Yeah, that's it. That's it. But in America, we're like, oh, it's black, it's white, it's this. It's just, every time I turn around, I'm being told. It's been fucking like the politician commercials are being annoying, man. Trump is saying this, Biden is saying that. I'm like, bro, I don't care, man. I don't care. I mean, like, we need to educate. Everyone needs to take their own accountability and responsibility themselves to educate themselves and their family members. Whether it's in school, wherever the formal school you want to do, but and then additional education. Because if I need to rely on advertisement to help me sway my mind, nah, bro, it's already too late for me. I seen the Joe Biden commercial, and he was like, "I plan to cut the prices on prescription medications and drugs, and you know, blah blah. You know, if I think Trump didn't do this, something like that." I'm like, but did he just flat out tell a fucking lie? Like, who the fuck wrote this for this man? I don't think he's. I mean, I don't think he's coherent of exactly what's going on. It's kind of just disturbing to see him up there talking and stuff, or see the things that he says, or listen to his sound bites and stuff. Cause like, and it's almost, you can literally tell that there is a whole shadow government in the deep state. You can literally tell because they really don't care who they put into office. They really don't care who's who's president, because they have the power and resources. And slowly we're starting to realize who they are. Because guess who they is? Ghislaine Maxwell is they. You know, Prince Andrew is they. Like, Jeffrey Epstein is they. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Obama, they. Like, you have Obamagate. Like, these are actual documents, man. These are FIOA, Freedom of Information Act, you know, used to find these documents and stuff. But nobody's going to tell you this unless you go looking for it. Which is exactly what Freemason talks about. Freemasonry talks about. See how I just connected that? If you want to seek the truth is only for those who seek it. And in reality, I mean, it's true. I mean, I want to say factual, but it might be just flat out truthful, honest, absolute truthful statement. Because unless you go searching for the facts, the knowledge, the truth, you'll never be able to handle it. Because there's a lot of stuff that is just, it's like, fuck, man, what the fuck? That's a lie. That's a lie. Where I just watched a video on YouTube. I think this dude is High Roots TV. Yeah, I think that's his channel. But it was just saying something about Stevie Wonder is a fraud. I'm like, what? No fucking way. See, when I see shit like that, I'm like, man, this shit ain't real. But I don't dispute anything. Just because I don't think it's real, I don't dispute anything. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let me watch this video. And then I watch the video. And then he's showing clips and stuff. And like, oh, shit. Bro, is Stevie Wonder actually fucking blind? This shit's wild, man. And you think, oh man, he's blind. Yeah, he's blind. But really, like, the people around him that say he's blind would benefit. But in the video, it's showing clips of like a Anthony Anderson and someone else. I think it was Lionel Richie telling stories about, yo, Stevie Wonder ain't blind. And they're joking about it, but what Eminem said, a lot of truth is said in jest. Like, these motherfuckers, and that's how I kind of am too. I'll tell you the truth. I'll laugh about it. That's what I'm doing now in this podcast. I tell you all types of jokes. I'm like, oh, this is that and that, but it's factual. Like, it's mind blowing. Like, man, could Stevie Wonder put a con job on all of us? And then even the guy on the channel and stuff, he was like, you know what? I never seen Stevie Wonder with no walking cane. And he's like, oh shit, you think about it, yeah. But it was a video, it was a clip. It looked like they were doing like one of those, Save the World charity concerts, whatever shit. And then next thing you know, the mic dropped in front of Stevie Wonder. He quick reactions, dude. He went to go grab it, and then the people next to him freaked out, like, "Oh no, let me get it." And then the other guy was kind of looking like, "What the hell? Did you just grab the mic, bro?" Like, bro, you really just grabbed the mic? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Man, this shit is wild, man. It's just shit like that, man. You see shit like that, and you're just like, come on, man. The whole entire time watching, like, come on, bro. This can't. I stopped. I didn't dig no deeper into it, or nothing. Even the guy doing the video, he's like, man, he's like, I just didn't believe it. I had to do some digging. And then once you do some digging, and it's like, man, he really just pulled a con job on everybody, like. And you know what? There's part of us, like, we want to believe that this man is blind and he's really a great musician and stuff, and because he's blind, and we like to we want to believe things like that exist, because most likely things like that do exist. Do we ever actually hear the real people? I don't know. Who knows? This shit is crazy, man. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm looking at a text message or whatever. But yeah, it's just so much stuff, man. But yeah, it's this time of year. It's football, sports and stuff, and yeah, I'm just over the wokeness. I'm over politicians, Trump, Biden, politics and stuff. Like, I still pay attention, I still follow it, but I try not to be so much emotionally involved. Like, even if it upsets me, or I'm like, what the fuck, this and that, I don't let my emotions get into it, because you gotta be careful. These things are intentionally designed to have emotional triggers. Excuse me. So it's just interesting to see all these things, have emotional, to watch these things, and you can't help but have an emotional reaction. But I'm doing a lot better with far as, like, I mean, I wasn't that bad. I've been working on this for years, but I'm doing a lot better not to be so emotionally affected and be able to handle my emotions, because we're all emotional. I mean, it's human nature, literally. It's by design. The whole human point of the human experience in this third dimension is emotions. Sentient beings. You take your pet owners. Look how emotional your pets are. Happy, sad, all this shit, and they just go through them. The humans, we have a hard time with our emotions, but that's what makes this experience so great. Because you can feel great and you can feel low, and you can't have one without the other. Go back to that universal law of polarity, positive and negative energies. But wherever you just define as a positive and negative, it really seems to be your own interpretation or your own perception of whatever is positive and negative. But yeah, it's just, man, watching this stuff and all, we care about racism. Oh, we need to stop this and we need to stop that. And people are really, really starting to catch on, because everyone's smart, man. Every one of us, we're all smart. Because real intelligence is having, knowledge and wisdom, understanding. To me, real intelligence is that awareness. Being aware and seeing multiple perspectives and knowing that a whole bunch of different things is going on. And that you can see it from multiple perspectives. And like I said, on the surface, it looks like, oh yeah, these people care, these athletes care. But, pay attention, take it at face value, take it for what it is. You're listening to millionaires tell you that, the world is bad and everything. Like I said, I was talking to someone like, man, the world can actually be all good. There could be a lot of good things going on. Actually, everything could be getting better and we would never know it. And as you hear me say that, you're like, no, 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 you're already doubting that. But why? Is it because you only see negative images all the time? If you see nothing but negative images, do you not create a perception of reality that is negative? This is what I had to ask myself, because for the longest, I was like, man, you know what, in the world, man, humans are fucked. Like, fuck this. Somebody hit the reset button on this fucking planet. Like, fucking humans, we're done, bro. And this is just a couple months ago. But as I continue to evolve in my spiritual journey, my evolution, I have to ask these tough questions that confront myself. I'm like, hey, you know what? What if I'm wrong? What if the shit is going better? Because the same thing about, racism or systematic racism, systemic racism. Systematic and systemic. Huh. Anyway, so, racism, things like that. I have to question myself because, hey, my first thought is, well, my life is not like that. And I'm like, hey, they saying, hey, black people, it's hard for us to make it in this country and all that stuff. I'm like, huh. I mean, I put in hard work, but I got here through my own perseverance. So, yeah. Black people are in positions of power and stuff like that. I probably had like one or two white people in charge of me. Like, it's been a lot of black people for the most part. It's been a lot of minorities. You have to question these things. Like I said, when I was a kid, and they'll talk about, oh, you sound white because you listen to this, or you playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater, or you listen to this rock music, you like Limp Bizkit. Oh, that's white people stuff. Or look at how you talk, man. You're a white boy. Oh, Damien Oreo. That's what I was always called as a kid. Probably still do. My friends probably still call me Oreo. You're black on the outside or white on the inside. Probably still call. Actually, I know they still call me Oreo. I know they still think of me as Oreo. I know anytime when I don't tell them I don't support Black Lives Matter, that's exactly what they think. Oh, whatever. He just loves them white people. Yeah, y'all think whatever you want to think. It's okay. I was about to say an angry statement, but I just caught my emotions. Like, you know what? Nah, man. It is what it is. I understand where I'm coming from, and really, that's all I care about. That's all anyone should care about. Because, how do you know someone can truly racist? Because without knowing their actual full intentions, unless they tell you they are. More respect to KKK and neo-Nazi members or whatever, because hey, they're letting me know this is what they are. Well, Malcolm X, be worried about the white liberals, the wolves in sheep clothing. That's exactly what's going on. So my whole thing with this wokeness stuff is like, I don't trust nobody that's, fake. I really don't trust nobody anyways, but there's a lot of fakeness. There's always been fakeness. Think about your friends. You kind of feel like, man, I feel like this person be talking about me behind my back. Or you've been in work or school or whatever, and you've been in a situation where you're in a group. You feel, some people are fake in your group. Like, so, and then it's human nature because everyone has their own reaction to how they want to handle emotions and stuff, whatever. Like, you seen like with Nancy Pelosi, and you starting to see, for me in the city of Lakeland, the Lakeland mayor was like, there was a picture of him outside next to people and stuff and hugging him, and he didn't have a mask on. And he says, oh, well, he's outside. But people are like, wait a minute, but you're not social distancing, so you're supposed to have a mask on. Bro, it's hypocrisy everywhere. They'll tell you whatever. People, it's not just people in power. People will just tell you whatever sometimes. And they'll go do something different. Moral superiority. That's why I feel like a lot is going on right now. People want to take the high ground. They want to sound, they want to sound like they're an upstanding person. Look at me. I want to stop and end racism and stuff, whatever. Oh, good for you, bro. High five. Like, so do I. Like, what are you actually doing? Do you have a proposed plan? Or are you just saying things? Because there's nothing wrong with them just saying stuff. But it's just taking people at face value, listening to their words, but also, also questioning their actions. Like, hey, are you really sincere about this? Or, are you just talking? So that's kind of my mindset about it. It's like, I remember when I joined the military, when I joined the Air Force, and I remember going to like different places, or not different places. I'm sorry, I'm looking out my back window. I'm being distracted, watching people go by and stuff. But my mindset when I came in the military, like I'm listening to what people say, but I'm always cautious. So I get my first base, and your supervisor's supposed to look out for you, and your leadership and stuff, your higher ranking people, everybody supposed to look out for you. I'm paying attention. I'm listening to what people say, but then you go ask for help. They're like, go see so and so. I'm like, oh, okay, duly noted, guy. You said if I need help, come to you. I come to you for help. And you tell me immediately go somewhere else. Not okay, let me figure out if I don't know, yeah, hey, I try to look this up, I don't really know. Go ask so and so, or I'll go ask them for you, or we go together and stuff like that. Nah, it was more of a everybody being fake. And it used to bother me then, but now, and probably looking back on it years after that and stuff, I was like, whatever, man. I just don't take. It is what it is. Like people were saying nice things, and it sounds nice, but it's another thing to put actions behind those words, and that comes down to who you are as an individual. So when I got to one of my bases, as me as a E5, a staff sergeant, I would tell my troops and younger airmen be like, hey, we're gonna have these meetings and stuff with management and these all these high ranking, these the master sergeant and the chiefs and all that stuff. These officers, they're gonna come in and tell you all the things, man. Don't believe them. I was like, make them prove it to you first, like before you actually believe them. But like, just don't, just take what they say, with this expression, take things with a grain of salt. Like, just, just take it for what it is, but don't hold some of your own reservation. Cause like, look, they're gonna get in this meeting. They're gonna tell you, hey, we care about you guys. We want to hear your ideas and stuff, whatever, blah blah. I was like, and one of y'all gonna think, oh, okay, we can have an idea. I was like, they set you up, bro. Don't say nothing. Don't say anything at all. Just go on about your day. And then they were looking at me, and then I know other NCOs would tell them like, oh, Sergeant Jackson's just bitter because he's going through medical issues stuff, and they're messing with him and stuff, and he don't know if he's getting out or what's going on. So he could tell he just had enough. No, bro, I didn't have enough. Because of medical issue, I had enough because you motherfuckers all y'all motherfuckers just lie, bro. Stop lying to people, man. Tell them the truth. You don't give a fuck about them. Like, and if you do give a fuck about it, it's only because you get a paycheck and you're told you're supposed to give a fuck about them. Bro, just be honest with it. Everybody look at me like, man, you're an asshole and this and that. But you're honest, so I'm like, but I don't lie to you, do I? I might say really fucked up shit. I might say shit that hurts your feelings, that make you feel like you want to fucking go slit your wrist. But I'm honest to you, so you gotta respect it. And I'm telling you this because I respect you, and I hope you tell me something honest too, if it comes to that point or whatever the case may be. But going back to my little story, like I'll tell the airmen this stuff, whatever. And I'm like, well, whatever. They're just kind of like, okay, yeah. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right. I'm telling you, because I was just like you. I thought, hey, I'm coming in, new airmen and stuff. Like, hey, these people, they're looking out for me and stuff. It's a brotherhood, sorority, fraternity, whatever. Like, we're all looking out for each other and stuff. Nah, bro, it's corporate. Dog eat dog world. Like, what can I do and what do I need to say to get to the next level? And that's the core of human beings. A lot of us just trying to get to the next level. And was that Jay-Z? I think what Jay-Z said. Crabs in a bucket or whatever, trying to crawl over each other. Man, I cannot think of the line. Watch. I'm in this podcast and I'm going to later on think about that fucking line. It's just going to blow my mind. But yeah, like people, people will step over you and crawl on top of you to get to the top. Crawl right over you, get to the top. Plain and simple, man. Competitiveness, you want to win, but do you want to win without cheating? Without, do you want to win and not do no dirty tactics or anything? Like, that all depends on you because At the end of the day, actually, if you win, you win. You just have to live with the choices and the methods that you did. Ain't nobody here to judge you. Ain't nobody to set up the laws and rules stuff except for ourselves. So, yeah, what are you gonna do? But I told them these things, stuff, whatever, and then they had a meeting, and then towards the end of the meeting, it's like, hey, do y'all have any ideas? Anybody got anything to say? Someone raised their hand. One of the young airmen raised their hand. Oh yeah, well this and that, blah blah. And then one of the NCOs, or all the NCOs, like looking at, like, okay, well no, good idea, well that we can't do that and blah blah, or whatever, or wherever they say. And then afterwards, but I mean, it was clear that they gave no real thought to what they said, because, I mean, even if they gave an answer, there's no definitive answer. They just ask a question. Have you really, thought about it? Or maybe you should take a little bit more time. Or if you're gonna tell them no, wait till the next meeting, or talk to this person later on. It's like, oh no, blah blah stuff. Or sometimes they'll give me an idea. Like, oh, okay, that sounds good. Oh, good. You make sure you sit down and put it together and stuff, and then blah blah. It's like, so you're responsible and all that stuff. I was like, bro, they're just saying that, man. It's because they don't want to do the work. And I don't blame them. Hey, whatever. But just admit, hey, I really don't want to do the work. You got an idea? That's your shit. But you're going to get all the credit for it. And there's been times where I've seen airmen come up with stuff and someone else gets the credit for it. And, they'll later on be like, I also had help, whatever. No, man, you took the credit for it. I was telling the airmen, I was like, look, they telling you they want y'all to get these awards and go after stuff because it makes them look good as leaders. They put that in their own EPR, which is your enlisted performance report. It's an annual report. It writes down, and it gives you a certain level of grade and stuff, and everything that you did. And it's like, I told them, like, look, they want you to look nice because it makes them look good. If the airmen are around the shop getting awards and stuff, whatever, this work area, our workstation and stuff, if everybody getting awards and stuff, it makes them all look good. Which in thus turns helps them get awards. Which in thus turns help them to promote. Because when you become a tech sergeant, senior master sergeant, senior NCO, stuff like that, like, now you need to have your degrees, you need to have these awards, because you got to really, really separate yourself from the pack. And it's more than just testing. So, basically as far as how the Air Force goes. I don't know how the other military branches go specifically. I have an idea, but it's kind of basically all kind of along the similar ways. But that was my whole experience with just being around fake people. And it's like, it was even people that I liked and stuff and I knew and hung out with and stuff where about like, hey, but when the push comes to shove and it's about money and it's about survival and livelihood and stuff like that, like, you can't really fault anybody on the methods that they take. You might not approve it, you might disagree with it, you might not like it, but you can understand where they're coming from. And that's really where the point I'm at. I understand where they're coming from. I try not to have no judgment and hold no harsh feelings towards anybody. I can understand where you're coming from. So do I like Black Lives Matter? Do I agree with what they're actually doing and stuff? No. But I can understand where they're coming from. I can understand that they have the intentions. And I can also understand that a lot of them don't are saying stuff that sound nice, but really they're just saying it to make more money. Or hell, they might be saying it because they're on a Nike contract for all I fucking know. Like, it is what it is. But after that meeting, the airman came up to me and was like, man, Sergeant Jack, you were right. I was like, I told you, man. I was like, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I told you so, I'm right. And I'm letting you know because I know exactly how you feel. Because I felt exactly like that. I'm like, damn, bro, I thought y'all care. Rather, they don't. They don't. I mean, you'll find people that do care, but you'll find people that don't care. And, it is what it is. Just take them, take wherever you can from them, experience stuff, and just let it be. Because at the same time, like, you're in the military, anybody gets orders, anybody gets deployed, and then bam, you might not see this person ever again. You might be close 1 minute, and then you don't talk to them ever again for years. Because that's life. Life happens and stuff, man. I remember there was some of the airmen like, man, I gave my idea, so they just didn't pay me no attention. I was like, yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, man, yeah, this is how it is, man. It was like, Sergeant Jackson, you don't ever have nothing to say. I'm like, no, I don't have nothing to say because I'm not about to say stuff and just be saying something and none of y'all really pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm not finna waste my time. In fact, it's already a waste of time that we're here. So, and I'm on my day off too. Like, bro, I'm just here. Just say what you want to say, so I can take my ass home, man. That's it. Because no matter what happens, guess what? Everything is like clockwork. Everything's on routine. You're still gonna do the same shit every day at your job. You're still gonna go through the same fucking motions. Only time things seem like they change if you get new management or somebody else come in. And they'll change for a little bit and you go right back to doing what you want to do. I mean, they used to be like, oh, Sergeant Jackson, you just do whatever you want to do and no one says anything. I was like, exactly. It's not because of rank, because I'm letting them know, hey, I'm doing this. I'm doing this because of this, and that reason. Now you can stop me. You can write me up. You can do whatever you want, but I'm letting you know what I'm doing. And 99 out of 10 times, nobody did anything. Probably a little bit. Man, I don't really remember times when somebody actually just stopped me. I remember Aaron was thinking like, well, they said they're gonna talk to you about this, and about how the line is set up, or they say they're gonna talk to you like, hey, we need to do this for a midnight meal. I was like, I know. I was like, they're not gonna talk to me. One of my friends, he was like, man, yeah, they said they're gonna talk to you. I was like, yeah, they're not going to talk to me. Watch, they're gonna tell you, and then you're gonna tell me, and nothing's gonna happen. I'm still gonna do whatever I want to do. And then I think the next week, later on, he was like, yeah, 'cause I ain't seen him for a while. I was off and stuff. And then I saw him, he was like, man, they really don't talk to you. They all keep saying, well, Sergeant Jackson do this, or I'm going to talk to him. But they really don't ever talk to you. I was like, no, they don't. They can send me an email, they can text me, whatever. They don't. They're not going to. Because they don't, nobody really cares, man. We all here to collect the paycheck. And we know we do just enough, whatever, or we're good. But it's really just that fakeness, man. It's just that fakeness, which is unnecessary because you don't have to, you don't have to fake anything. Because, be honest with you, the majority of the time, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody's paying attention anyways. Like I said, we got the Black National Anthem, Alicia Keys singing this and all this other stuff, and ain't nobody paying attention, man. Ain't nobody worried about this. Everybody tuning in to watch sports. And yeah, I can see, end racism and all that stuff. That's great. That's cool. Whatever. I'm going on about my day. Because in my own reality, do I come across racism every day? No. Prejudice? Probably. But any situation or scenario that happens, I'm like, whatever, man. Fuck it. As long as you don't fucking physically hit me or you, yeah. Because if say, as long as you emotionally attack me or try to emotionally abuse me, but I mean, just walk away anyway. You say something I don't like, I'm gonna walk away. You talk to me, you text me something I don't like, guess what? I just won't talk to you. It's that simple, man. And then, I calm down or you calm down or wherever the case may be, I'll talk to you again. Maybe we should never bring up this subject. I do it with my friends, my family members all the time. Like, if they say something I don't like, I won't talk to them for a while. And they all know it too. I gotta tell them, like, look, you say something I don't like, I'm just not gonna talk to you. Or you say something like, hey, not just something like, oh, I don't agree with or whatever. Like, if we have a situation, we have a conversation and stuff, and I didn't like it, and I'm just not gonna talk to you for a while. And there's nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's nothing absolutely wrong with that. Like, you can talk it out, or you could just, hey, we know something, maybe we both got a little emotionally heated or something. Because what we're talking about is usually about shit that's going on around the world anyways, which are divisive topics, which are intentionally designed to be divisive topics. Race is a divisive topic. Intentionally. Like, there's no way you could ever talk about race without it being divisive. Because even if you try to find the middle ground, it doesn't matter. So many emotions are involved that it's hard to find the middle ground. Because you want to think it's this or that, but nothing is ever this or that. I was having a conversation with somebody, like, nothing is ever black and white. Goes back to polarity. Black, white, positive, negative. These are just ends of the spectrum, but you're swinging back and forth between each side, and really what you want to find is the middle. And then what Buddhism talks about, the middle way, the balance. It's just things like that. But I just always thought it was funny how the airman was like, man, Sergeant Jackson, you were right. I was like, Yeah, man, I've been in about at that time. I was like, I've been in about 8 years. I'm like, yeah, just pay attention, pattern recognition. You notice that too in a lot of gamers. I mean, even like mobile games though. Board games like pattern recognition. Man, damn, don't let nobody know I had a hard time saying that shit. What the fuck? Oh man, my cognitive skills are just be having a hard time sometimes. Recognition, boy, man, I can't do this too much longer. Apparently, I'm about to reach my max capacity of mental, or my mental capacity for a little while. Take a break. But yeah, I recognize the patterns. When I look into quote unquote conspiracy theories, that's what I'm not looking into it because I mean I'm looking into it because whatever interests me or whatever. But what makes me dig deeper because I pattern recognition. Man, the fuck. Damn. Anyways, so it's just that knowing that hey, I've seen this before. I talk about Black Lives Matter because when it came out 2015, 2016, even then I was kind of suspicious. And then it comes back out again around election again. That's what makes me like, hey, this is kind of suspicious, bro. Why does it seem like there's a pattern forming here? Why does it feel like they tell you got options, but every time you turn around, it's still just the left or the right? The Democrats are the Republicans. The conservatives are the liberals. Bro, these names don't even make sense, man. They just throw them out there. They have the definitions, but the fuck is actual Democrat? And I'm sure you're thinking, oh, well, it's this and that. It has these definitions, blah blah. But do any of the actual people act like that? Is Trump really a Republican? Is he really conservative? Like he was Democrat for all those years. And I know they had a soundbite where he said, if I ever want to run for president, I can run as a Republican because those people are dumb and stuff. And then he switched around and said something different. So no, I don't have no confidence in none of these motherfuckers. I just take them for their face value and pay attention to their actions. I know Trump is concerned about business. I know he's making these peace deals in the Middle East and stuff. Really, what it comes down to is economy. You gotta protect that petrodollar. You gotta find some way to, know what's going on and stuff. I advise everyone to really pay attention to finance. Steve Mnuchin, and the Munchkin, Steve Mnuchin and the Treasury. Pay attention to Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve. Hell, the OCC. The dude that was I think CEO. I think his name is Brooks. His name is Stephen Brooks or something like that. And he's friends, and he worked at another company with Steve Mnuchin. But he was the CEO of Coinbase, which is a cryptocurrency exchange, one that I actually use. And he became the OCC, which I think the Office of Comp Controller, right? I'm pretty sure, or something like that. That's all they do. They jump from private sector to government, back to private sector, back to government. Just go back and forth, man. We literally watch Trump run and be like, oh, I'm not a politician. No one's a politician. They're all business people. There are no politicians. They're all business people. When you're supposed to be a politician, you're supposed to be doing a civil service. You have a job still. You still see patients. Like I think it's like Ron Paul is a medical doctor. I think the senator from Minneapolis, Michael, I forget his name. I know I talked about him before, but he's a doctor, medical doctor. Usually when you do civil service, you're supposed to have a job, or not have a job, but you being a civil servant or whatever, it's not supposed to be a lifetime thing. How does Biden been in political office for almost 50 years, bro? Like this shit ain't supposed to be a job like that. You're supposed to just do your service and then go back to doing your job, and then that keeps freshness and stuff, and not necessarily become stagnant. We need to have more. You can't have more diversity and variety of different skin colors and all that stuff if the same people keep getting elected over and over. The same people can't keep getting elected over and over in local legislation unless, everybody needs to pay attention to what's going on. Hell, you need to run. Sometimes you hear black people talk about, there's no black office this, there's no black person this. Did anybody run? And if I was white and I asked that question, I'm a racist. But it's a legitimate question. Because anybody run? Because for me growing up, in the 90s kid and stuff, and 80s baby, 90s kid, all this shit, guess what everybody's talking about? I'm going to be a rapper, right? I'm going to be an athlete. I'm going to be a basketball player. Everybody, I want to play basketball. We're looking at these things. And my mind wanted to play basketball, but I also wanted to do computers. I also wanted to do radio broadcasting. Guess what I did? Guess what I'm doing now? That's it. I always had these different things I want to do. I never just limited myself. Is that because of my upbringing? Oh, of course, that has a factor into it. But ultimately, no matter what, it falls on you, the individual. The military and basic training talks about accountability, holding yourself accountable and holding others around you accountable. But you can't hold others around you accountable unless you hold yourself accountable. So now you got to think about it, people that within your relationship, your family, friends, society, politicians, athletes, celebrities, all these people. Are they holding themselves accountable? Or are they not? And to go back to Black Lives Matter, to put this together, to connect this, when someone is telling me Black Lives Matter and police brutality, I'm holding you accountable, because if Black Lives Matter, then if a black cop gets shot, where's the support? Black on black crime. Are these issues or are these not issues? What's going on? But see, if I'm white and I ask this stuff, I'm a racist. See? That's hypocrisy. Just because people have a question about what you're saying, it's called criticism. That's fair. Everybody has an opinion to have and can express it. And that's a fair criticism. You tell me Black Lives Matter, yet what about the children? Black children? What about abortion? Hey, these are things to think about. These are things that have topics and conversations. Real conversations. Real, conversations. Not emotions, but a balance of emotions and rationale. Using your logic, your reasoning skills. And that's what it should be about. So it's no one's above criticism. I'm not above criticism. Somebody can comment on my podcast or on my website or wherever else and be like, hey, I don't like what you said, or, hey, you messed up. I'm like, I'm gonna listen. I might respond, might not respond. Doesn't matter. But nobody's above criticism. So but you gotta hold yourself accountable first. I hold myself accountable. I question if the things I say, or I question the actions I do. Pay close attention to how I perceive myself. Not how others perceive me, but how I perceive myself. And I think about how others perceive me, but I know a lot of my friends and family members perceive me in a stereotypical way, in a prejudiced way. Like, that's just what it is, man. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I guess you could say there's something wrong with it, but hell, it's perspective. You could say something wrong with it, you could say there's nothing wrong with it. I was trying to explain to someone, like, everything literally is perspective. It could be subjective perspective, it could be objective perspective. And then you can have a whole bunch of perspectives within subjective and objective. You know what really it all comes down to? It all comes down to you. What do you want to do in your life? How do you want to live? How do you want to affect the people around you? How do you want to be the cause of certain things in your life? How do you want to be affected? Will you allow yourself to be affected? Emphasis on the individual and the species. Because if we want to talk about groups, there's only one group. Humans. Homo sapiens sapiens. That's what we're talking about. Let's start there. Hell, What about Earthlings? What about just being on the planet Earth and all the species that are on the planet Earth? What about that, right? That counts, shouldn't it? Is that not a group? A group? Hey, now all you motherfuckers living on Earth, y'all one group. Cause y'all live on this planet. Whether it's as above or below, y'all live on this planet. And I threw that out there. You're gonna be curious about what I'm talking about. You'll figure it out. I'll just tell you, as above, so below. Are we on a surface level? Do we live on the roof of Earth? Or do we live on Earth? Because we know we're on the surface. We're at the top part of the crust. Hey, what's in the middle? How many licks does it get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? Oh wow, I just never thought about that before. That's actually kind of crazy now I think about it. Oh man, I don't even want to go down that road. I just threw this in there because I thought it was funny. But like I said earlier, a lot of truth is said in jest. Man, the truth could be right in front of you. 'Cause when I think about I remember as I talk about elite pedophiles in Hollywood and stuff, and I seen the Netflix drop the movie Cuties or whatever. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God, these motherfuckers this shit is wild. I watched the trailer. I fucked up and watched the trailer because I read a synopsis, and in the synopsis and the original cover of the movie is bad enough. You're showing girls half naked and stuff, 11-year-old girls, 12-year-old girls half naked and stuff, and it's twerking and booty shaking or whatever. Twerking, I hate that word. Man, I swear every generation it's the same thing, they just give it a different word for it. But yeah, you have that stuff or whatever, and then I remember I was just seeing that, and I was like, this is just I don't know. Like, I don't want to have a full on opinion because at the same time, like, yeah, maybe I should watch it before I give an opinion about it. But I was like, nah, I'm good. Because after I watched the trailer, I'm like, I'm good. I'm not watching this. Nah, just some. The whole movie is trying to talk about young girls being sexualized and is wrong and stuff, whatever. But you know, ironically, they're making a movie that sexualizes little girls. Like, there's no way around it. Like, they're in, tight, skimpy outfits showing off their belly buttons and skin and stuff. And to each their own, as far as their parents and how they want to raise their kids and stuff, whatever. And then, everyone, there's no right or wrong in that, but it just seems like there what should be a better way to present this topic of conversation instead of showing a movie in in which you're in which you're sexualizing them. It's like the Jeffrey Epstein thing on Netflix. You know, like as I'm watching it, it's telling me Jeffrey Epstein is a pedophile, but why they not calling these girls girls? Or why they not calling them young girls? They'll call them underage women. Words mean something, but then they don't mean nothing at the same time. Everything is and isn't at the same time. Once you get your head around that concept, then you start to see how you can have all these different perspectives, and anybody can just go with any one way perspective. Because underage, you're talking about pedophile Jeffrey Epstein and stuff, and he's dating these, and he's abusing or having sex with these girls, these little girls and stuff. But it's one thing to say minors, and it's another thing to say underage women. What the fuck is an underage woman? Should a woman not be of age? What the fuck is of age? Some states say 16. Some states say 15. Some states say 14. Some states say 18. Some countries 16, 18. That's a topic of conversation that we have to have in society. Maybe a continuous, ongoing one. Maybe we need to figure out, pedophiles. Like, hey, we get y'all got habits, or you feel this certain type of way. Okay, we understand that, but maybe you guys can't just play with the rest of us in society, bro. Maybe you gotta go sit over here in the corner for a little bit until we figure out what the fuck to do with you. Isn't that what we do in prison? That's ain't the whole point of prison. Besides the whole, legal manual slavery, getting paid 10 cents an hour or whatever to make these uniforms. You know they make military uniforms? Prisoners, I remember when I got my uniform, the new ABUs and stuff in the Air Force. I think somebody was telling me, like, oh, they make prisoners make our uniforms, or handicapped people make these pins and stuff. I was like, huh, interesting. And man, but because we know how much they sell for. Yeah, these uniforms, these jackets stuff cost like $40, $50, man. He's like, oh, we give you a clothing allowance. Bitch, I'm not spending my money on the fucking uniforms. I got bills, motherfucker. But it goes into all that stuff, man. Like prison stuff. Like the whole point of prison, really, in society is, hey, you are a murderer, or you're a rapist, or you're stealing stuff, where you're committing these things, these acts of laws that we set up as society. You need to go in timeout. It's adult timeout. Now it should be rehabilitation, but we know it's not. They use it for slavery, manual labor, cheap labor. So you have cheap labor in the prison systems in America, or you have countries outsourcing their cheap labor to Indonesia, Southeast Asia, China, Hong Kong. Hell, China has a lot of slavery itself. There's a lot of wild shit, man. When you start digging, be prepared. If you haven't already, I know you have been. You start digging, be prepared. Be prepared to face your own self, the fact that you have to push past some things. I love challenging myself on these tough questions, because when you think about it, can you get past that kind of psychological, emotional barrier that's been in place there through propaganda and manipulation and programming, brainwashing? Can you pass that? You'll figure it out. It is what it is. But I just thought I was just looking at videos on YouTube about the cuties thing. Cuties. Like, cuties. Shouldn't even be called cuties, man. Like, I just think about the name cuties. Like, it should came up with a different name. I don't know. But let's say I watched the trailer and then I was like, oh, okay. And then even a part in the trailer, it shows these girls probably look like they're like not even 4 feet tall. Like, probably about 4 feet tall. And then it's like, it shows these teenage boys, they look like they're about 18, 19, and they talk to the girls and they confront them, or not confront them, but they meet them face to face and they're talking. And they ask, how old are y'all? And then one says 11, the other one's like 14. It's a French film. And so it's like, okay, this is kind of like how do I watch? Like, do you watch this? Like, who's this geared towards? Because it's a TVMA movie. MA means mature audience. So if it's and that's what in the synopsis, a coming of age tale for 11-year-old. I mean, did she have her puberty yet? Like, what were we talking about here? The trailer was good enough for me to watch. I was like, yeah, I don't. That's it. I try to understand everyone's perspective and things like that, but and then I also can still be like, I don't really agree with this. I don't know. We need to figure this out. What's going on? They had this whole cancel Netflix thing or whatever. And then I seen like Tessa Thompson. She's in the movie Men in Black International, and then she's in was it Thor Ragnarok? Of course, she's in Avengers. The last Avengers movie. What the fuck was the last Avengers movie called? Damn, my mind went. Endgame. Yeah, she's in Endgame. But she was basically trying to stand up for the movie. Why? Because the director of the movie is a French black woman. French black woman? Shit, that doesn't even make sense, right? But yeah, you know what I mean, though. All these fucking labels and shit. Shit get on my nerves. But yeah, so she was like just trying to stand up for her. As the video I was watching on YouTube, it was showing all that tweet stuff. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Then Netflix comes out and says, "Hey, we are part of," and then, I didn't do my own personal research, but I'm still just throwing it out there. I'm watching the YouTube videos and stuff, and the YouTube videos are showing internet clips and stuff like that. And yeah, there's certain people I give a benefit of the doubt of credibility, but you still should always do your own research. And this is one of the things I know I'm gonna do my own research on, so I'm talking about it. but I'm still trying to reserve full opinion on it. But I mean, like I said, the synopsis, the trailer, the cover art, the poster, the movie poster, the fact that they call it cover art. I mean, girls are in skimpy outfits. They're 11 years old, and it's called cover art. Art. Like these are things you got kind of like, hey, what? What? Like, okay. But it had the thing with Tessa Thompson and whatnot, and then so come to find out too that Netflix was saying, well, this film won an award at Sundance. Well, people looked at the owner of Sundance Films. Oh wow, charged with sexual abuse on a minor, child sexual abuse. Okay. Oh look, the co-founder too. Hey, do your own research. I mean, like I said, I didn't read articles and things of that nature yet. Man, so I'm still having reservations, but I'm throwing these out there because I'm also throwing it out in my head too. Because as I continue to look for more evidence and confirmation of what's going on as far as elite pedophiles in Hollywood, we already know elite pedophilia goes on because you have Ghislaine Maxwell, who I don't know if she's supposed to be testifying and telling things. Although I've been seeing a string of news stories, local news stories that are just these pedophile rings, these small pedophile rings, just been getting captured a lot lately. I don't know, there's no coincidence, so cause and effect. But Jeffrey Epstein, so we know that there literally is an elite pedophile ring, like people in power and wealth and stuff. And then to see that these Sundance people, the owner and the co-founder, whatever, we see that they have an issue, or that they have child sexual abuse cases and stuff, and pled guilty and stuff. Hey, that should be something we should look at, whatever. I don't know, it's interesting. It just makes you wonder, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna do a podcast on it. Man, I might just do my own research and probably just not talk about it because this shit kind of blows my mind just to think about it. But it's like I said, it's an interesting topic. It's not wild, but it's hey, it's interesting. It is what it is, though. But yeah, man, just want to give y'all an update, reach out and say some things that's on my mind or whatever. I wasn't sure how I was gonna go with the direction of this podcast as far as the topic and stuff, but as always, I'm all over the fucking place. So yeah, man, until next time.